Well, let's transition into Champions League. So we got the team
Whew.
from Frankfurt coming up.
Mhm.
They're not a great team, but they have been playing pretty good. They are sixth place in the Bundesliga, and I'm just going to take a look at their form so
They're
that
a
we
good
can.
team. They're not
They
great,
are a
but they're
good
good.
team.
They're
They are,
they just lost 3-0
and
against a mid to lower table team though in the
but you
Bundesliga.
know what? But you know what? For me,
Mhm.
that's not a good thing
Yeah,
because
because
it
they're
could
gonna
be a
play
wake
with
up.
some. Yeah,
Yeah, it
I was
could
gonna
be a
say that
wake
too.
up call for them,
Sure,
and looking at their form, they've been playing very, very well over the last several matches. I think they even did well against Bayern. Yeah, so they
they're
tied
tied.
1-1
Hmm.
in Bayern,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And all the other matches other than this last one that you just mentioned, they have won or drew.
That's what
They
I'm saying. They're
haven't
not really
lost.
out of shape or out of form. They lost that little slip of a match, which is bad. Like for us, it's good for them because like you said, it is a wake up call. But we'll get into it. I'm not really worried about them though. But it won't be easy, per se. It won't be easy.
Hmm. Who do you think? So we touched on a little bit in another segment, but Olivet is probably going to start, right? Just because he's been the
Yeah.
normal guy in the
He's always
Champions
been the
League.
normal guy. Yep, yep, yep.
And what do you think Spalletti's going to do on the right wing? Like, do you
Just based
foresee?
off Lozano's form, and we've always been 50-50 in Champions League as well with Lozano and Politano. I see Lozano starting. Let's see what happens this game against Sassuolo, and then maybe that'll help determine that choice. Because if Politano starts, I easily see Lozano starting against Frankfurt, in my humble opinion. But if Lozano starts, I don't know. He may be getting burnt out here. Spalletti, he likes Politano, like don't get it twisted. He does, even though we don't really like him. So I could see either one of them starting. Me, I'll go Lozano all the way.
You know what, Maya? I'm in a chat with a bunch of Napolitani,
Hmm.
um, and some of them were saying that they've been hearing some chirping going on with Politano and how he's been doing in practice. And I think that there's something going on with like Politano's girlfriend or something. I haven't really done any research to try to
The hell?
find anything. Yeah, but some of them are saying some of that stuff, and being in the city and everything, that might be something that is affecting him mentally if he's got some things going on with his girlfriend. I don't know what the things are. They said something about it, and I didn't try to get into it or try to figure it out. But maybe that has something to do with the fact that he's been pretty much, the second option for Spalletti over the last few weeks. And if that continues, I mean, Elmas could start that right wing. He really could in this game, which means Lozano could still start in the Champions League game,
Hmm. True.
so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but I'll tell you what, I definitely don't want to see Politano. I mean, I, Politano, every once in a while, he can offer us a really good game. He can make a
Yeah.
great
Sure.
long ball to Victor. He can, I
And he
haven't
trails back.
really,
He does trail
I
back.
can't remember the last time he actually scored using his left foot. His left foot, it's a weapon, you know, but he hasn't really shown me a lot over the
Yeah, and he hasn't really
last.
shot outside of the box either with that left foot. He used to like always try it. He
No.
hasn't really shown that recently either. I don't know if it's because Osimhen's always expecting a cross or Cavada is now, a more
Yeah.
possessive player on the left side. I don't know. But he used to always like try to curl it in. And I thought that was fine because he has a good shot. I'm not going to take that away from him. He has a good shot. Better than Lozano. Better shot than Lozano. But he's one footed, he don't got 2 feet. And
Yeah.
he was our penalty kick taker. There's just so many things that went against him as well. Like he's not a bad player. I would just rather see Chucky play on that right side, 100%.
And then I'm not worried about this, to be honest, but I want them to go into this game with the same exact fiver and mentality that they've been playing with in the entire
Oh yeah.
Champions League. Do you feel like there's going to be any type of drop in their motivation for this game coming up? You don't think the
None.
fact that Scudetto is pretty much wrapped up and they're like, hey, man,
No.
we're really good and, we're positioned to win the Scudetto. And
We haven't shown that all season. We've had chance after chance after chance to like display that act. We haven't done none of that. We've always been on our tippy toes. Like we haven't gone easy against anybody. We are like our mentality this season, man. I hope this can carry on for fucking decades. Because man,
oh,
we've always
decades.
needed this. We've always needed this.
Yeah. And there's a lot of journalists out there that are continuing, journalists and reporters and pundits and all that are continuing to say that Napoli is a real contender. So if you're a player and you're going into this game, that's got to build your confidence, and you would think that they want to prove that that's real at the same time, right? And
Yeah.
players like Osimhen, Cavada, Lobotka, Keem, these type of players. Zelensky wants to probably perform well because this might be his last year in Napoli. I am not concerned at all. I was just wanting to know what you felt about it. Now, Frankfurt's going to play.
Of
I
course.
mean, I think Napoli's going to perform, but Frankfurt is going to play, and I think they're going to play well also. What do you think the result's going to be?
The result.
Yeah.
Are we at home or is it away?
No, no, yeah, you were just mentioning before something about the Maradona. This game is on the road. It's the first
Oh,
leg is in Germany. It's in Frankfurt.
oh, that's a big difference. Okay. Well, I can just see maybe a 2-1, 2-1 win. Um, I don't know. They've always shown grit from what I've watched so far. Like I'm not gonna like be a guy and say, oh, I've seen a whole bunch of their games. I've seen a couple of highlights and how they perform, but I got us winning 2-1.
I want to see what they look like when it comes to their goals scored. I'm curious to see how good their offense really is. All right, so they're sitting in sixth place. Ooh, eesh. So they've scored 40 goals. Ooh, they've allowed 29. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Whoa, I did not know that. I think I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw, and here's why. So they want to prove to their home crowd that they belong, right? And they have some players that, have talent that are looking at maybe going somewhere else, trying to make a bigger paycheck. And I think that they're gonna come into the game realizing that they can't really stop Napoli. So they're gonna come and be hyper aggressive to try to score early. And I think that they're gonna get one goal early, and I think they'll get one goal somewhere during the second half. And I do think we're gonna score, but I also think that Spalletti may approach the game in a little bit of, okay, let's play our game, let's control possession, and let's look for our open areas. And I think it's going to be 2-2. I think that's what's going to end up happening. I think it's going to be a draw, and both teams will get their chances to score goals, and they'll convert on at least two of those tries. I hope you're right. I really do, because it would be nice to be able to get that victory and then be able to go back to the Maradona knowing that you've already got the one victory. And all you really need to do is just make sure that you play well and get at least a draw.
Mhm.
But I feel like
Yeah. I
this is going
mean,
to be
yeah. Go ahead.
I feel like this is going to be a draw. I think there's
Mm,
going to be goals scored, but I feel like that Frankfurt's going to get a result. I think they're going to draw us.
that's fair, but I mean, I think 2-1 just because we've had high expectations like these past weeks, and we've always delivered every freaking time. And I think we're going to keep delivering. And a tie wouldn't be up to our expectations. I mean, it's a sixth place team, and the Bundesliga. It's a good league, but I mean, if you're in Champions League, in my opinion, you should at least be or third or fourth at least in your current standings. So yeah, they're going to try to prove a point. They're going to be a tough side to go against. It's Champions League football. I mean, it's always going to be tough. But I see us comfortably winning 2-1. Not comfortably, because I mean it's going to be 2-1. A one goal lead is never comfortable, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It'll be up to our expectations. So yeah, 2-1
All
Napoli.
right. I like it, and you know, and I hope you're right. I do. Just for some reason, I feel like this is going to be one of those games where Napoli doesn't really do everything that they want to do, and it might be because it has something to do with the way Spalletti approaches the game. But we'll see.